How's it going, YouTube? It's Panda time. In this video we have myself playing against some guy at the PPG BT8 Prerelease. Now Prerelease is a bunch of fun, and if you guys have not tried it, I definitely do recommend it. Obviously I'm more excited about the actual BT8 itself, you know, and getting to play all the cool decks. So we'll definitely have a ton of videos on that, but I definitely did want to show some of the pre-release, so we'll definitely have a couple games, maybe like 2 or 3. I did record a couple. Pre-release is fun, you know, it's like best of one. It's still a tournament, but it's more casual, more like laid back, and the rule changes made it very interesting. For sure, the Joggers Digimon ended up being, I think, by far the strongest cards in the pre-release. So if you draft, if you open any of those, make sure you draft them for sure. So here we go with the game. Let's see how this one goes. Opponent's gonna start. Mushroomon. I think like pre-release is interesting because it doesn't have a lot of the like complexity that regular decks have, but a lot of the fundamentals of the game are obviously still intact, right? So you have to like go back to your basics and like just enjoy the game at the most basic state, which is honestly kind of fun. Like he memory chokes me to 1, so I memory choke him to 1 right back. He doesn't have a level 5, so he's forced to, you know, go into another rookie. Opts to not bring out the Digimon though. I'm curious what he was scared of. I'm gonna Digisorb into the, I don't know the name of a lot of these cards, I think we're still learning, but you know, the Shivamon level 5 for the Digisorption. I think the idea is just go into a level 6 really quickly, because I have a Blackboard Greymon and it has blocker. Sadly, I don't have a red inheritable, so we actually can't pop his Digimon, but I feel like, you know, we have the black one and I have the blocker. So I'm like, this can just win the game on the spot. If he doesn't have a good answer, it actually is going to win the game. Now, he does have the Metal Greymon, the Digiball, which does answer it. Funny enough, you know, the Metal answering the War Grey. But honestly, it's not that bad. We still have a level 5 to work with, and if I have a level 6, then we could still, you know, do some work. And if not, we could just sit at a level 5 for a little bit until I get one. However, the Metal Greymon, I believe, is 8,000, so it kind of stops me from swinging. But I do have a level 5 in the fighter mode, so we can go into it and bounce his Metal Greymon. So I think I'm okay with that outcome, right? Like, he entered my stack, but not fully, and then my Digimon fully entered his stack. I do give him some memory to work with, so he can start building the back. But, you know, going into a level 6 early on, definitely pretty strong. Make sure you play a good amount of level 6s, but, you know, not too much. Hits into a Disaster Blaster, we're just gonna clear it. I'm okay with this, like we take 1 damage, but again, he's like definitely down on the board. Armadillo actually does get the search. The Angemon is such a powerful card. I really like him. We can suspend with the effect because we have a green source. I don't have a blue one, so we don't get restand. But then because of the baby, now my Candle can swing over his guy. So good board control. And then gonna just play an Ankilo for 3 because we have a blue Digimon on the board. So I think so far so good, right? Like we're making good trades. He does have another Metal Greymon, which is really funny. You know, it makes sense that he would play that. And he gets the pop on the Candle, so really, really good answer. Like, we were in a great spot, and Metal Greymon definitely gets him back in the game. Although I feel like we're still in a good position, you know, we're tied in security. You know, we both have level 5s, but I have 2 rookies, so essentially, like, my early plays were pretty good. We make sure we got good value for stuff. But the Metal Greymon is definitely keeping him in the game. So at this point we might not have another level 6 since we already went into 2 of them, and you know, like 40 card deck, I think I only play like 4 or 5 level 6s, so it might be rough. We definitely could be in a position where we just never get another level 6 again. But there's level 5s that are pretty solid, like the yellow purple one has 9,000 DP, so you know that boy is definitely swinging. We're gonna see if he can get a level 6 or does he start building in the back. We both have the Patamon, a pretty solid card, especially because, as I was saying, the Joggers Digimon are definitely the strongest Digimon. Then he goes into his own fighter mode to bounce my guy, which is a pretty good answer because, like, sure, now I can swing with a 9k, but then it's just gonna get cleaned up for free, essentially, right? So have to be a little bit careful. We are now in a pretty tough position. He's had really good when Digivolving effects, right, to answer my board. Definitely making good comeback plays. So question is now, like, if I don't think I win the board, do we just go on the aggressive and like try closing him out? But I've only done 1 damage, so it seems unlikely. Going to the retaliation, or retaliation on the hero, right? He doesn't actually have retaliation, but that Digimon is pretty good. I don't know the name. One of those dual colors. And at this point, I think that I might not be able to answer the fighter, so we're like, okay, maybe we just go super wide and try and win that way. Hard playing the Thundermon, which is pretty good for play cost, and then it has 6 ADP. I'm gonna use the fighter mode. Definitely gonna be swinging with that. He does have the green source as well. Luckily, the Patamon doesn't have that much DP, so it shouldn't be able to get too much out of it. He also does not have the blue source, right? I feel like he does have the lead, so we'll see, you know, what he's gonna do to push that. Pretty scary spot. Like, it's definitely gonna survive, right? He doesn't have a red source, so I let him know he can't play Crimson Blaze, which is a very powerful card, and honestly might have won the game on the spot. You know, for 4 and answering 2 of my dudes. Definitely, it's like, if I try to go wide, it's such a good answer. That's called Flame Hellside, but again, he doesn't have the colors, so you make sure that you're, you know, a little careful when you're drafting your decks. Like, you do want to play all these options that are definitely powerful. And like, you could play stuff like Flame Hellside just hoping it's gonna be insecurity, but like, then it might just be super dead in your hand. So we're able to go into a Sylphimon for free, which is actually really strong. We can minus 5k the fighter mode and then pop his other stack. Now, I think the baby gives him plus 1k, so we actually do end up trading. Actually, should reread, but you know, I trust him. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Either way, though, Sylphimon is able to answer both the board swing and survive. So although we set up a memory tamer, which is definitely, you know, pretty solid, sometimes like the tempo is kind of slow and it might not do too much. Granted, if the fighter mode had survived, he'd definitely be in a great spot. But Sylphimon, such a powerful Digimon. So at this point I just go wide, you know, knowing that he's gonna have memory to work with anyway. So I don't mind hard dropping big Digimon. We have 4 attacks next turn, which sets me up for lethal. I know that he could Crimson Blaze me, but at this point it only answers the Electmon, so I feel like that's perfectly fine. If he wants to spend his turn doing that, like, I'm okay with that trade. And then realistically at this point, Sylphimon is gonna swing every single turn. Like I was saying, I might never get another level 6, and that's okay. We hard playing the Snow Agumon. Interesting. Choosing not to Digivolve on the baby. I'm not sure what the thought process is there. Still has memory to work with though. I did give him quite a bit. Might just be Crimson Blaze. Maybe he didn't Digivolve over the baby because he wants the red source. But, you know, again, it doesn't really answer that much. Okay, goes into a Rapidmon. A Rapidmon, pretty solid Digimon. He can at least clear the Electmon? Yeah, I was gonna say. But it's still very expensive, right? Like, he had to hard play and then Digivolve into Rapid would cost 4. To only answer 1 Digimon. And because he hard played this Noagu, it actually means that he doesn't have a stack in the back now. So I wonder how that turn would have played out differently if he had just Digivolved the Agu in the back, and then we'll see what would have happened. But he did have to answer something, as I was trying to lethal, of course. So now at this point everything is swinging. The Rapidmon is annoying for sure, but not the scariest. We Digivolve into the Blitz Gamamon just to get, you know, potential surviving security, and it does. So now he has no security, we have 2 bodies on the board. I can assume that, you know, Rapidmon can clear one of them. But realistically, if I go super wide, we might be okay. Although I know that he has Crimson Blaze, right, because he showed it due to a misplay. So we Top Gun the Rapidmon, which armor purges back into a Toagumon. At this point I'm like, okay, he doesn't have enough to work with, right? He only has the 3 memory. The Snow Agu is like probably not doing too much, and he doesn't have anything in the back. We just need 1 Digimon to survive to win the game. So I like our chances. I think that this game, you know, the Sylphimon definitely put him in the back. My early plays were solid, but he actually just had really good answers to them. The Metal Greymon put in a ton of work. But after, you know, the fighter mode came out, without the Sylphimon, we would have been in big trouble. But again, Sylphimon is just so good. Like, the fact that it let me answer both the fighter mode and his additional stack, right? So the Digimon can swing over the Blitz Gamamon, But then at this point, I don't think you can answer the Sylphimon, who is 8000 DP, very, very hard to deal with. And we just need one more hit for game. So yeah, pre-release is a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy these games, and I hope you guys enjoy playing the pre-release. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. BT8 is gonna be a blast.